Cecily, Zimbabwe, thank you so much for listening to Zimnet Radio. Ndichimba kuti mawane wiki rakanaka and everyone is looking forward to the coming weekend. For those that were having the Halloween and all the rest of it, I hope it was nice and you enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it because I was at work. So there you have it. Recently, kune nyaya dzakawanda dzatoda kuti titaure nezvadzo nhasi, but before I do that, let me welcome everyone we have here on the show. Regai nitange nemukoma Wilbert. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Let's hope we'll have a nice evening and a nice, interesting chat tonight.
Wonderful. We missed you last week. What happened to you?
My Skype was playing up, so I had to get it sorted. But I listened to the show on the Zimnet internet.
Yeah. How did you like it?
I listened to all of it. A number of issues were raised, but I think I did send you a text message saying that sorry, I can't be on the show.
Yeah, you did. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, thanks very much. We are happy to have you here today because Sekuru was looking for you yesterday. I think he missed you yesterday. I must admit. Sally, welcome to the show.
Thank you, DJ Sodza. Good evening, DJ Sodza. Good evening, Wilbert. Good evening, Chief Sosre. And good evening, Moyo. And good evening, Zimbabweans, wherever you are. I hope that you all well. And if you're in Cape Town, I hope you're out of the rain and not standing underneath the tree because there is so much lightning and thunder.
Good. Vadzokora maswera seiko.
Maswera sei DJ. How are you, Sally? Mkoma Wilbert, Magadi, Wamoyo.
Hello.
Muye Zimbabwe, tinokuchingamidza ine mufaro mukuru chaizvo.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for being with us. Mama kangana kuti time takachinja here Chief Sos.
Kukangamwa chaiko.
Ndo zvinoita kukura ka, ndo zvinoita kuchembera kazvi.
Mujasvikawo ipapo.
Hanzi kusekana kwaana kamba ka.
Mujasvikawo mai manje.
No, it's good to have you on the show. So is Trump going to get rid of every immigrant there in America following the terrorist attack which happened the other day?
You will try, but hatigone tinoda matipa nemagredha jaoja.
Kungotaurawo zvako, it's a cheap talk, isn't it?
You won't be able to do that.
Right. Thank you so much. Vamoyo maswera sei mamuka sei kwa Australia Vamoyo?
Aiwa tamuka mukoma. Mamuka sei makadini vamwe vese vedare.
Right. That's fine. Ingwa ikoko.
Kunoku. 7:06.
7:06 Maxine.
Yeah, good thing. Yeah.
No.
Nguva zhinji papa inenge iri kuma 5 saka pamatochinja apa ya inoita mboti mukeyo. I mean, it's to our advantage.
That's fine. Mukoma Wilbert.
Hello.
Teteno Mazulu, she's offline, you know.
She is. She's actually trying to contact you and she's saying you're not answering.
No, because she's offline.
She's got 2 numbers.
Unless I haven't got her Skype, because she can't call us if we are not her friend on Skype. It's either she give me her ID and I can try and join her, or she can request Zimnet Main Radio is our ID. Then I can accept it. Then we can bring it to the show.
Okay, let me ask Kelly.
Yeah, but those are the two options. Anyhow, Sekuru Maswera Sego.
Gamugangu kuti maswerawo.
Kwakamira sei ku Birmingham nasi?
Kutonhora.
How did our team play?
Yaita mangange.
Mangange?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was it a good result?
Very good result because they qualified.
Ah, wonderful. So, how many do you think Manchester City are going to score on Sunday against you?
I was kufunga kuti iri kurohwa Manchester City.
Ah, seguru. Musatambe. Pane timu yakambodya Manchester City gore rino.
Zvazvinoita kadezvo kuti Arsenal yakadyiwa netimu yakanga yasati yambodyiwa rimwe gore. Saka zvinoita bhora iri kairi chinhu cheraundi harizi reragibhi rinoti rikabhamba roenda. Ibhora reraundi, it can go in any direction and it can go into the Manchester City's goal kakawanda still.
That is a dream, Sekuru. You can keep dreaming on that. Anyhow, zvatakuita panapa regai ndimbodai. Sally.
Yes, DJ Sodza.
Yes, Sally. With all these men that you work with here on Zimnet Radio, has anyone touched your knee there?
Why must they touch my knee?
Yeah, because here in the UK there's a big issue about men touching someone's knee and they can be expelled from their jobs.
Yes, Moyo touched my knee.
Yeah, so Moyo, you are fired, my friend.
And he threw stones at me.
Yeah.
He threw stones at me.
It's either you resign or you are going to be fired.
For what?
For touching Sally's knee.
And for throwing stones at me.
Yeah.
I did not see it.
Misconduct, unacceptable behavior at work.
Hey, you know, why do women have to go overboard with these things? Serious.
I tell you, Sally, it's absolutely ridiculous. These stories are just laughable. Honestly.
But you see, this is what makes, then when somebody is really seriously sexually molested or abused or however you want to say it, assaulted, then nobody believes it. You know, this is what I hate about women. They got to take everything overboard, okay? And it drives me absolutely out of my mind. Look, if somebody touches me, okay, where I don't want them to touch me, like on my bum, okay, I turn around and I tell them, listen, sweetheart, here's 50 cents. When you become a man, then come and talk to me about touching me on my bum. Okay? Until then, keep your hands away because I'll break them right up to your eyebrows. Okay? End of story.
Or maybe, Sally, if someone did that, then you come around 10, 15 years down the line and you say, oh, but Moyo touched my bum about 25 years ago. Yeah, you should really?
This is what I can't understand. A woman is so intimidated. And when a man does something to her, okay, a man in authority, it's, oh, my job, what's going to happen? I'm going to lose my job and all this kind of business, okay? Do you know what? Selling your soul to the devil is way more expensive than turning around and saying, the next time you touch me, I will take your penis and I will clean your ears with it and then I will stick it on your forehead with super glue and put there, thanks for the memories.
All right. Okay. All right, Sally.
It's ridiculous. It's
all right.
You men, you need to teach your daughters, okay, to stand up for themselves, no matter what. You need to teach your daughters. No man, no matter how much power he has any right to touch her anywhere that makes her uncomfortable. Or say anything to her that makes her uncomfortable. She's got the right to defend herself.
All right. Okay, Sally.
I'm telling you now, you have to teach your daughters that.
We will do that. We will do that. Thank you so much, Sally. Those with ears are listening. Anyway, whilst we are on that subject, I know a lot of people are tuned in and they want to talk about politics. We are going to talk about politics in a little while. But I've got a simple question that maybe I might as well start with you, Sally, there. I was reading, I was on Facebook and, reading some newspapers from home and all that, and I heard there's a woman who is challenging the legality of paying Lobola, saying that Lobola, I think we've discussed it in the past, but in brief, do you think she's going to win her case?
Who you asking?
Right. Sally, did you hear about the story of a lawyer, a woman lawyer in Zimbabwe who wants to overturn this business of paying Lobola to the in-laws and all this kind of business, and saying that it is degrading women and all that kind of
I have a problem with Lobola for the simple fact that men have put a lot of power into it. Okay? I'm not saying all men, so don't all start... I'm talking about men in general have put a lot of power into this paying Lobola, and it's like purchasing a cow at an auction or something, okay? So I have a problem putting a monetary value on another human being. I would like Lobola to be the token of respect and appreciation and that, without any monetary exchange. Okay?
Right.
So I mean, whether she succeeds or not, who knows?
I tell you now, I don't think she will succeed there, because from what I've seen, she's got a backlash from people, and I think Sekuru is gonna tell her where to stick it right now. In a minute. Yes,
he's old-fashioned and old, so I mean, that's not a problem.
Mkoma Wilbert, did you read the story?
No, I didn't see the story, but I must admit I think it raises a lot of interesting questions. I think in this particular case, there is nothing wrong with paying Lobola as long as people appreciate this. You're not buying somebody as if you're buying property. It's a tradition. I think there's nothing wrong with tradition.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Mugoma, Chief Sose. Chief Sose, maiona were nyaya watete vari kuchallenge kuti this Lobola should be abolished.
Andina kuiona, but there's no way we can throw away our tradition like that. That is a tradition that has been handed over from one generation to another. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. We are Africans, we have our tradition and we will stick to it. And it is what defines Lobola, in terms of families, people coming together. It defines us as a people. And there is no way we can move away or run away from that kind of a rich tradition.
So basically, if my daughter here is married by a white man, he has to pay me Lobola.
Oh yeah, I have 3 girls, and I expect, and I see them. We talk about these things. If one marries them here in America, whether he's from Asia, he's from where, he's an American, he's from Nigeria, he's from any place, I expect to follow my tradition, our tradition. And I think it is what you talk about with your daughters, because if they know that this is our tradition, they will pass it on to the boy, to the men, even before they make big decisions. That this is what is expected in our culture, and that this is what you'll be expected to do. Is that something you can do? And I'm telling you, DJ, there are some white men, white people who are very, very keen and very excited about, going through with these cultural things. I've seen it happening. 3 weeks ago, I was the go-between Munyai when my friend's daughter was getting married to someone from the islands. But they are here in the US, and we did everything the way it is supposed to be done. We explained to them. The parents didn't know, but the boy had been told by the girlfriend. The parents didn't know, but they came over. We explained our tradition, why we do what we do. It's not about selling anyone or selling a child. It's a tradition that we just have to follow. It's a sign of appreciation, of what the mother, what the father did. So they accepted it.
So what appreciation goes to the boy's parents?
Now are you trying to talk fight the tradition? The tradition?
No. I'm just asking.
Yeah, all's fair in love and war.
Even the Bible says to the woman, you shall leave your mom, your mother, your dad.
Says to the man. Says to the man. The Bible says to the man, shall leave your mother and father and give yourself to you.
Okay, guys. Let's have a little bit of order. Thank you, Chief Soswe. Vamoyo. I know kuti maybe zvenyu muri mupostori, but I just want to hear your thoughts on this very briefly. Do you think vatete vanowina nyaya yavo vari kutiwo she doesn't think kuti this nyaya yekuti mumwe apuhwe mari kuti hanzi taakuroora mwana wenyu it should be abolished, and she thinks that this is a way of degrading women?
Ndanchiseka hangu pama muchibvunza vasozve vasozve anokommercialize anything ka saka ivo vachiti ndine 3 daughters ipapo vari kutoona chibhanzi
vamoyo
sorry
this is about tradition. But I will happily receive whatever is given to me. But it's about tradition.
I know. I was joking seriously. So don't panic. Thinking, panyaya yesisi vari kuenda kucourt. I take you back a little bit to the Chijgausiku verdict yema workers. The outcome from the court was immoral, but it depends on what the court says. So her case depends on how she argues, because the outcome from the court is basically how one can argue their case in comparison with what the law says. What does the law say? And how then does one argue their case? So the legal aspect is one thing. Then we go to the traditional aspect. Like chief, supposed to be chief, was saying, it is what makes us who we are. Our tradition is what defines us, is what identifies us. It is our history and our tradition which makes us a people. And one of the easiest ways of destroying a people is by destroying their history and their tradition. Because other than your history and your tradition, there's nothing that makes you Zimbabwean. Hakuna chimwe futi. It is your history and your tradition. So if we start eliminating our traditions bit by bit, in the same vein, we also start to eliminate our history bit by bit. And in the same vein, we also begin to decimate ourselves as a people in the same bits and pieces. So for that reason, I would be in the opposing camp and make sure that she does not succeed. Even if she may find a window in the law, I would suggest that that window be closed. Because like I said before, remember, any outcome from a court of law depends on how the particular clause or that particular chapter in the law is spelled out. And sometimes it can be spelled out to mean one thing, but people can always manipulate words, can always manipulate sentences, manipulate statements to mean whatever they want. So from the legal aspect, she may win the case depending on what the law says and how she argues it out. But from a traditional point of view, I wish she does not see the light of the day.
Okay. Thank you so much, Vamoyo, for that. Sekuru. Makatogaririra kuti ndakaona mune mhandara dzakawanda chaizvo kwenyu makatogaririra mari kai?
Kokuti.
Saka vatete vari kuti zvibhanwe ava munoti kudii navo?
Munyika muri mega mega mune mupengo wamo, munyika mega mega mune mupengo wayo. Uyu ari kutsvaga kuti roora raani risabhadharwa rake here kana kuti revamwe.
Ari kuti mwanasikana wese haafani kubhadharirwa mari kuti aroorwe because is not an item that you go to Tesco and okay bazaars and buy it.
Kuti ndiye ani iye anotaura kuti vana havafani kuroorwa.
Aiwadze vana ngavaroorwe asi ngavasabhadharirwe mari zvekuti touya ikoko emisekuru moti muri kuda mombe 15 dzinotsika kwanzi izvozvo it's wrong.
Aiwa ndokuratidza iye ufuzi hwake chaiwo. Because chaanoti vana ngavaroorwa anoti vanoroorwa sei?
Kungondosainirana kakwamudzviti.
Ndokuroora ikoko.
Kaka. Kwandi tinoita ane marriage certificate sekuru?
Marriage certificate yakaitwa pamutemo upi? Yakabva kuchechi, yakabva kudenga, yakabva kuna Satani, yakabva mutemo wei?
Sekuru
noti kana tichibvunza kudai kate tichibvunza kuti uyu mutemo wokuroorana watinobvisisana pfuma mutemo wechivanhu chedu. Saka mutemo watotenderana kuti ndo zvatinoda isusu kuti vanhu vasangogara vega vachitiza mhuri dzavo. Toda kuti mhuri dzichipfekana dzichiwirirana vachiita ukama. Saka kana wada mwana womunhu kuti uchitanga mhuri wonoroora ndo mutemo yedu yatinotenderana iyoyo. Saka uyu wake waari kutaura wakabvepi wokuti tongononyorerana zvitupa?
hamuna shamwari here kunoku sekuru dzechirungu?
Handina.
Hamuna? Hamuzivi here kuti kune vamwe vanhu vanongoti vanongonzi voroorana pasina kuchinjanwa mari?
Havana kuroorana, vanongonzi vagara vese vari kuchaya mapoto.
Even if you are in a marriage certificate?
Yauri kuti marriage certificate iyoyo ina handiizivi. Nokuti muchonzi kuroora ka marriage certificate ndo kurubvisa roora.
Okay. All right. So if you are going to get a visa here, toti mbuya wari kuZimbabwe muri kunoku muri kuda kuti mbuya wauye mobvunzwa na officer kuti tiri kuda marriage certificate kuti tiratidze kuti zvishuwa makaroorana, munomupa chi?
Izvo ndezvemapepa endire ekufamba ngaizvo. Zvitupa zvokufamba izvo haizi kuroorana.
Right. Okay. Then we are not operating at the same level. Sekuru ndatenda zvangu.
Aiwa iwe haufani kuti hatizi kuoperate at the same level. Iti inini ndakani ndoda kuitedzera zvevarungu kuti dzimwe nyika zvemapepa. Taingoroorana tisina mapepa iwawo. Vanhu vachingozvarwa vachitokura vachichengetwa vachitoziva kuti ava ndimai vangu nababa vangu vakaroorana.
Saka imi chamuri kungoda chete imimi kupuwa madhora kuti motenga hwahwa nekupuwa mombe 5 dzinotsika.
Kwete chandiri kudaka kuti tirodzane netsika dzedu kwete dzetsika dzevamwe.
Ko munhu akangouya akati ndaakuroora motaiwa mukwasha zvakanaka oroora zvako hapana chakaipa bachitora mwana musina kutora mari dzake nemombe dzake zvakashata.
Aiwa akauya akati ndakuroora agoni kuuya achiti ndakuroora unotoya kuti tauya kuzotsvaga sadza pano. Kana ati tauya kuzotsvaga sadza pano tomuudza kuti nderipi racho raunoda kuti rikupakurire akupakurire otaura kuti ndiwoyoyo. Titoti kana uchida iyeyo kawo ngatigare dare titaurirane newe tiwirirane. Towirirana zvatinowirirana ipapo kana tichi kubhadharisa danga remombe 15 kana tichi kubhadharisa chitanda ndizvozvo asi tatowirirana kuti tikubatanidze neuyu akubikire sadza. Zvinotoreva izvo kuti unotofanira kutouya tikutaurirane tikurodze netsika dzedu. Saka iwewe chaunoda kuti tinyore pabepa kuti matoroorana chindai.
Aiwa sekuru muri kuhwanda panhu pamwe chete nyatsobayai pakati chaipo petsono kuti imi zvamuri kuti kutaurirana izvo itai kuti tinoti tipe mari tidye
nemombe negara makumucha nekuuchira makushi tozvida zvese izvozvo.
In other words tipe mari mukwasha kuti utore mwana wangu. That's what you're asking for.
Aiwa hazvitangiri pamari ndotanga pakukumbira kwakwe wewe kuti ndoda kuroora mwana wako. Kana usina kuuya kuzoti ndoda kukumbira kuroora mwana wako hatitauri newesu.
Saka ndikauya kukumbira kuti ndoda kuroora mwana imi mochiti right kuti utore chiti pamari. That's what it is.
Une mbewa winge kana
usita zvakuika. Sekuru ndingambokubatsirai wewe ipapo. Kana muchida. Ndimbokubatsirai.
Batsirai ne.
Ninge ngatimboonai kuti ko aspect yemari yakapindira papi. Handiti chekutanga kwaibviswa zvinhu zvakaita kunge majasi ambuya majasi ababa koita mombe dzeumai koita mbudzi dzemasungiro koita mombe dzedanga and all that. Originally it used to be materials, but the actual purpose here these materials usually zvaizvazvonzi kana mwanasikana akaroorwa zvabviswa zviya zvaiuya zvogara mumusha kana hanzvadzi yake yaakuzoroorawo those the same things zvinoendeswa kuna nambuya wako the same things zvakabviswa it was not supposed to enrich a family nokuti vanhu vakanga vachigara vachitoone zvavo kudhara. Saka that was the original purpose. Vati kuzoti mari chakazopindira papi manje. Vanhu vakachitanga kugara mumadhorobha kuti musikana vabereki vake vari kuHighfields. Sekuru ava vanogara kuKambuzuma. Ndo vakuti vakuchiroorana. Pakuchajana chaipo paiti mombe tinoda dzakati, mbudzi tinoda dzakati, majasi tinoda zvakati. And then the amount of money yaizouya manje pakuchiti mombe imari vaitotobvumirana kuti mombe imwe chete imari. And then kana danga remombe riri 7 mombe imwe chete ichiita $1 saka chitipa $7 ndo panobva mari yacho ipapo. So it was not that commercial. It started being material, but it was in compliance with the tradition, with a purpose. Unless we establish the purpose, we may lose the plot. It's not kuti vanhu vanoda mari. No, it was a tradition which ensured the continuity. But this continuity yakanga izobatsira pakuti zvabvisirwa hanzvadzi ndo zvichazoendeswa kunororeswa hanzvadzi but hanzvadzi mukomana akatanga kuroora sisi vasati varoorwa, it means pane zvinhu zvabviswa mumusha zvichienda
Vamoyo.
Can I ask a question?
Okay. Sorry, Vamoyo. So, what you are telling me is inini hanzvadzi yangu yoroorwa kwayaroorwa uku ndotopuwa mombe 10 ikoko indondoroora kwandoroora uku ndoendesa mombe 10 ko tikangoti hanzvadzi kwayaroorwa uku kuti regera hako mombe dzako chingotora ini ndongobhadharawo kwandiri kuenda uko ndonzowa haregerawo hako, that's it. Would that be unacceptable?
Muri kushandisa mashoko asingafaniri kushandiswa. Kana vanhu vachiroorana handiti panobviswa pfuma. Kana makutaura zvechipambi nechidoko zvemari.
Yeah, DJ nyaya iri papa inyaya yekubatanidza ukama, kutsvaga ukama ende zvataura naMoyo ichokwadi kuti nyaya yemari yakanga isipo. Vanhu vaibvisa matemo, vanhu vaibvisa mombe, mbudzi, chii, even nanhasi people still talk about mombe. Imimi isusu tizozotaura kuti mombe iyi ndeye 300. I said the choice is there for a person to just bring mombe dzacho dzandiri kuda dzedanga kana dziri 7.
Alright.
Mari inotongopinda out of choice.
Okay, Sally, let's go to a question there. Please go ahead.
Why can't it go back? I agree with what it originally was. I love that idea. Okay. Can't it go back to that without money? Can't it go back to, because for me, giving cattle and goats and coats and blankets and pots and pans and that kind of business, that to me has so much real meaning. Okay, it shows so much connection between a family. Your pots, you cooking together, your blankets. If a visitor comes, you can let them use one of the blankets. Whatever, it's got such heartfelt connection and meaning.
Yeah, but Sally,
goes back to that.
Sally, your question is very good, but you talk as if that has been abolished. No, that is where it is.
Yes, but Sikuru, can't you do away? No, you're missing what I said. Can't you do away with the money?
Just let me tell you, we can't do away with the money because we never ask for money. We ask for order.
But then how come? I mean, I have a friend, okay, who's getting married, okay, and for the two of them, it's the second marriage, and he's got to come up with $1,000 on top of cattle and everything else.
No, the thing is, the tradition is that we ask for puma. And when we ask for puma, we are not asking for money. But if puma can be converted into money, those who are marrying, let me say, we don't have mombe. Can we give it to you in cash? We don't.
No, they must go buy the mombe with the cash.
Yeah, that's how it should be. They are supposed to go and buy the cattle.
Then it becomes too expensive for them because when you are charged in cash, you are not charged a market value of a beast. You are charged in agreed amount.
You see,
okay.
I mean, I know of a couple of families, okay, that only educated their daughters. I know this personally. They only educated their daughters right up to university so that they could charge more in cash.
No, they don't charge in cash, yes, Sally.
They charge in cash, Sekuru.
Let me tell you something. They don't charge in cash, but they are paid in cash.
They charged in cash.
All right, okay. I'm sorry. Teno Mazuru Maskera say. We can't hear you properly though. Could you say German?
No, Tiripo.
What's your 2 cents on this Lobola thing? You think it's a fantastic thing?
No. I'm not very much impressed. It should be abolished.
Oh, thank you, Tete, for siding with your DJ.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. We do not want to hear anything about it.
Why do you say so?
Because I think because that's where the woman is oppressed and suppressed. And that's where the woman is defined as second to a man. You know? So if you remove Lobola, then we have got our equal rights. Yeah? So we don't want to hear anything about Lobola should be eradicated altogether. By whatever means. And there is no compromise. Yeah, in Lobola. Lobola must go away. Look at that equal rights between men and women. Yeah? And Lobola suppresses, oppresses, devalues a woman to be a subject to a man. Ati Bumi also in 2017. Yeah?
Let me ask you a question before you go. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask.
Not even one time.
Let me ask you a question.
We can't be second class. Rora means second class.
Okay, regai sekuru wakubvunza imvunzo.
You said you want equal rights with a man in terms of Lobola. So if you've got your daughter and the husband or the suitor comes calling, why don't you then say, no, I'm not going to accept you, Lobola. I'm going to pay your Lobola, your parents' Lobola, so that you'll be equal with my daughter.
No, there is no payment. Why should there be payment? Payment should be gone.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you.
And then they come up with a certificate TCU.
Let me ask you about that Gweta. Let me ask you about that Gweta.
Exchange because Mazuva Ano Rora is just business, it's commercialized. Yeah?
Let me ask you about that Gweta, that one. Let's have a conversation. Because you are just emotional. Let's have a conversation. He said they should go and see a lawyer. Do they see the lawyer for free? Or do they pay some money?
Well, it doesn't. How they pay the thing, the lawyer is not the issue. The issue is right. Yeah?
So in essence, you are prepared to...
Don't put in they didn't even need to go to Nikunet. They need to go to a common law. Yeah? And then they say, look, we are married. We don't want any Lobola because Lobola defines the woman.
Let's ask the question. Let's ask the questions. No, let's ask you the questions.
Second to the men. This is what we don't want.
The problem now, the problem you have is you are not answering the questions because you are you just say you don't want Lobola.
There is no emotionality here.
No, let's have a conversation. You said yourself, let's go to the lawyer, and then you are saying no, they don't have to go and see the lawyer. And we want to ask you on that one, who should they go and see then?
There are many courts of law. There are many courts where you can go and mono-run.
So you go to court.
Okay, no guys. No. Hang on. Tetere gaindi kubatsire Sekuru. Sekuru, you cannot tell me you don't know that in Zimbabwe you can go for registration and a moral run. kwainzi kwamudzviti or something, where you go there nemunhu anoziva kuti uyu ishamwari yake or someone, a witness, then you sign a paper. There is no money that is exchanged there.
Let me ask you, do you think you are going to get a registration certificate without paying stamp duty?
Yeah, but no, Sekuru, that is different to Nyaero. You see, that's what you don't understand.
No,
that is different.
Your objection is to the commercialization of marriage. And I'm saying you are saying the commercialization comes in when money is paid or is exchanged.
Yeah. No, Mkomanda, I'm going to address all Cecil, if that's okay. Ngoma.
Yeah, Pindaji.
Yeah. Sisi Noma Zulu.
Yes.
Ngapha ngizakhuluma ngesishona. I hope lizangizwa kuhle.
Okay.
Yeah. Kulungi, siyabonga. Ninge problem inodzoka yoitika ndeyekuti some of these submissions tinogona kunge takunyanya kuita focus on a certain class of people, and then we ignore the generality of our people, the majority of whom are the rural folk. We have gone a long way. Tichiedza kuita uplift the status of the girl child. And yet, if you go back into our own history and tradition, the status of the girl child was placed lower than that of a boy child. Do you know the reason why? Zvainzi musikana uyu anoroorwa achienda. So she was considered as not a valuable member of the family. Nokuti anoroorwa onotanga musha wake wokozviitira zvaari kuita ikoko. Saka zvaizoti kana vabereki vachinge vakutambudzika zviya, vakunetseka kubhadhara maschool fees, vakunetseka kuchengeta vana, vaiwanzobhadharira mukomana because mukomana achazoramba ari mumusha musikana achienda. Handitika? Right. But now kana musikana achienda achizoroorwa, then that makes it even more important for the vabereki ava kuitawo take care of mwanasikana nemwanakomana zvakainzana, nokuti vanenge vachivaona zvakafanana. So the moment we do that, kuti ngavachienda for free, it means I have a daughter, Chief Sosho has 3 daughters. He takes care of his daughters, and all of a sudden these daughters are going to leave the home, they go and disappear, and that's it. To a rural person and the generality of our people, it means taking care of this daughter here is of no use to them. Do you see what I'm saying? And we are going to undo a lot of progress that we have made so far if we take that route to begin with.
Okay.
And
right.
The last thing I wanted to say in ndeyekuti ninge kana murume achinge asina kubvisa pfuma, chinomutadzisa kuudza mukadzi waanaye uyu kuti ashamari ndafunga kuti uende, handina kumbokuroora in the first place and ndawana mumwe. It means we are now saying it's okay kuti nhasi munhu aroorwa aenda agara apa abva aenda uko abva aenda uko. The reason why anybody can advocate for the abolition of roora ndezvekuti anenge achifungidzira kuti haasi kuzogara mumusha umu forever. Aiwa, munhu ari parwendo. You see what I'm saying? So that actually also has a lot of impact on the family institution. And we need to look at it in those aspects as well.
Right. Okay. Sorry. In any jungle, I don't hide. I tend to just let you guys discuss things. But on this one, I don't want to lie to you. If it was to me, I abolish Lobola. I listen to what you are saying. But myself, the problem I have is you said that this woman is going to be married and is going to go there. If my child, I nurture my child, and my child has got power herself. She's gone to school, I've sent her to university, she's got a good job. She knows that my mom and dad went tooth and nail for me to go to university and all that. Even if she's married there and she's earning her dollar, she will not forget me. You understand? Whether she is married or not, she is always there for me. That's how I look at it.
Oh, but also, DJ Sodza, you've got to. People have got to start thinking like this. Your duty to your children, male or female, is to make sure that they're healthy, to make sure that they get an education, and they can go out in the world and they can look after themselves.
Yes, without depending on a man.
Life.
Yes.
Exactly. Your daughter is there, and not as a bank. Okay. Now I'm to educate her and things like that. Okay, so that I can get something back from her. No, your duty as a mother, as a father, is to educate those children. Finished. End of story.
But you know that you people, I don't think we are discussing an important subject here. The reason why is because we are discussing it from totally different angles, which have got nothing to do with the Lobola. Lobola is not compulsory in Zimbabwe. Lobola, if you don't want to pay Lobola and you want to stay with a woman, you can do so easily. And nobody will ever arrest you for doing that. The problem is we are creating a problem where there is no problem. The problem is on those who have been married. Willingly, they went into this institution fully knowing that there is a...
Hang on, Sekuru. Right, let's have a discussion. Sekuru, we know what happens in Zimbabwe. If I marry my wife here, if I am living with my wife here and I don't pay Lobola to her parents, if she dies here, those parents will say they will not come to the funeral, they will not do anything because you didn't pay anything. So don't say that in Zimbabwe you are free not to pay anything. You are always forced to pay.
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
Yes, that is exactly what happens. You've summarized it correctly. If your wife decides to stay with you and have links with the family, and then you start doing your own family, why do you expect those people you have cut out of your lives to be there for your burial and not when you are enjoying?
Come on.
No, Mgoma, where I was saying we are missing the plot. Remember, we could be talking in the with a certain class of people in mind, and not the generality of our people. And it ninge patishona pedu to vadati chirere mangwana chigokurerawo nemhaka yekuti we do not have, our tradition does not allow us to have the aged care homes. If my parents were here today, if they go old, there's no way I could have taken them into an aged care home. I take care of them. So when they are looking at a child, vachitasa mwana vari kutarisa ramangwana ravo futi ivo, ndosaka zvichinzi chirere mangwana chigokurerawo. Handiti kana vachinge vasvika pazera rierana rekuti vakura havachagona kuzvibatsira, ndo pavanenge vakuda kubatsirwa newe manje. And then Mgoma Sodza, you were saying mwana wenyu aenda kuchikoro, aita lawyer, aita doctor, and ari kushanda, you are looking at a class of people. But are they the majority of our people? Okay, asina kuzokwanisa kuenda kuchikoro, asina kuzokwanisa kuita A level, asina kuita course, haacharoorwe here. Akaroorwa, what is her role? What is her value? How does she help vanhu vari kumusha kwake kwaakabva? Remember, anovabatsira sei?
But that doesn't, but hazvisiso zvinganditi ndibhadharise mukwasha wangu mari. Mukwasha wangu akauya pano, mukwasha wada mwana wangu, fine, I don't want your penny, I authorize you to take my daughter, I don't want your money, but will you come and visit me? Ukauya negrocery pano ukandigira makena angu ewawa, paunouya negrocery, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I'm not going to say ndipe mombe 20. No.
No, even no, Zimbabwe.
when I send my children, my daughters to school, it has nothing to do with marriage or with me looking forward to receiving anything. I'm sending my children to school. Right now they are in university. I'm paying their fees because I want them to have a better life, a good life. And it has nothing to do with marriage. I'll still do it, even if they were not going to get married. So, but at the end of the day, me as a father, and my children as people who come from my family, our family, they know that they'll get married. And when they get married, Lobola has to be paid. And they are fine with that. So I don't see any reason why anyone should try and represent the interests of millions in Zimbabwe. If you look at our population in Zimbabwe, most of the people live in the rural areas. And all those people, they want this tradition to go on. Ukanomira pamatsine kana kuti kuchinhoi kana kuti kwamuramba kasuma uko uchitaura kuti roora ngaribviswe unobva uchimhanyiswa nematemo, because they value this. And even the women there, they value it. It's a sign, it's a source of pride for a woman to get married. And it's also a source of pride for me, the man, to go and pay the Lobola. I would not want a woman for free. And I will also hand over that.
Okay, right. When you say, okay, sorry, when you say,
a sign of pride.
No, when you say you don't want a woman for free, what do you mean by that? Why are you buying this woman?
Well, don't.
Let me tell you something, you guys. Let me tell you something.
I want
something
to
very important.
Chief do what has to be done.
Chief Sodza, let me tell you something very important. The reason why other animals do not have wives is because they don't pay the Lobola. They can't claim to have a wife. They can share wives and they can share husbands. Because there is nothing on which you can base your claim to own or to be.
To own who?
To own a wife.
Exactly. Like you own a house and you own a car and you own a piece of meat.
No, let me ask you, Sally, don't you own your children?
No, I don't own my children. My children are a gift to me.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. The reason why you are called a parent is because you own children. You can't
No. You are a parent because you have been given the responsibility of raising those children to go out in the world and make the life for themselves.
Sally, if only you would listen.
No, I won't listen because I don't own. Excuse me, I don't own anything.
If you don't want to listen, let the others learn. If you don't want to listen,
Sekuru, or Koyo. Speak nicely.
Let us explain the basis of paying Lobola. And then if you don't understand it, if you don't like it, that's fine. If you like it, that's fine. We are saying in terms of our tradition as a people, as Zimbabweans, we know that men can go after any woman, right? And there is no way you can defend your woman against another man unless you have got something tangible on which you base that relationship or that ownership.
Yes, marriage.
That ownership which you are denying your children. I own my children. All my children are my children. That's why I call them my children. I don't call them children only. I call them my children. The reason is the word "my" means I own them. Yes.
Okay.
Even in English, "my" is a possessive noun. Yes.
It can mean a lot of different things.
Why do you call them your children? Why do you call them your children if you
because
don't know them?
they came out of my vagina. That's why I call them my children. Okay.
No. You see, you are saying your vagina, but you don't want to say the children are yours. Is that vagina not yours?
Oh, mine. I don't do that.
No, I'm asking you, is that vagina not yours?
The children are mine, but I don't own them. I don't own
them. Whatever you say is yours. You own it.
Somehow
you've got a claim.
I don't.
Somehow you've got a claim on it.
The only reason I've got a claim of it is because it came out of my vagina. That's why.
But why do you want to own the children and they own the vagina?
It's not a claim.
All right.
Okay. Of me.
I think we need to change this subject. Ramoyo.
Especially the terminology.
Yes.
Come on. Seriously.
Right.
The problem I have when discussing this thing with Sally is we are discussing it from a totally different cultures, two totally different cultures.
What's wrong with that? That's how cultures understand each other.
No, let me tell you, these words that I'm using when talking to Sally, I would never say them in my culture. Never.
But I'm not asking you to say them in your culture. You don't have to say them.
Seguro, before you go, do you know a lady called Kirsty Coventry?
Yes.
Murudzi?
Murungu.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah. Pakaita, are you aware she is married now?
I don't know. I don't follow her too much.
We are aware. Just get to the point. Just say what you want to say.
Yeah, the point is, paakaroorwa akabva audza the husband to be kuti isusu kunoku tine culture yedu and culture yedu ndeiyi yekuti munhu anobvisa pfuma ndo zvatinoita ndo zvakaitwa kuna Kirsty Coventry izvo.
Because she chose to do that, Moyo. Her culture as white culture does not have that. Okay? She chose to do that.
Yes. In fact,
you have to do it, Moyo.
They wanted to have it good for media. Yeah? They were showing off. It wasn't culture as such.
Not only one.
It was a show. And you are taking it on something that they made a show out of.
All right.
Okay,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
The ultimate hit music station, Zimnet Radio, blending the hottest audio.
This is a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
Join DJ Sodza and his informative team live every Thursday at 9 p.m. UK time, discussing Zimbabwean politics.
Make the whole world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing@zimnetradio.com.
Thank you so much. I am just thinking, why did I start that discussion? Really, it was just a story I saw, and I thought, wow, maybe people might give me a 2-minute, answer to that and say, well, I thought people would just say, I think Lobola is good, and that's it. And someone will say they don't like it. Someone will say they like it, and that's it. I didn't think it was going to be full blown like that, but anyhow, that's how it is. We discuss things, and we differ in other things. But anyway, I want to ask you about the outbreak of typhoid we are hearing in Harare, especially in Mbare there, and someone thrown it to our men's corner WhatsApp group there, and I saw a few of you guys there, were operating on different teams. What intrigued me was, who is to blame for the outbreak of this typhoid and the people dying of typhoid in this day and age? And someone was blaming the government. Someone was saying the MP is to blame. I was just looking at it and laughing and thinking, who is right here? But anyhow, Sekuru,
Yellow.
In this day and age, should our people be dying of typhoid in Zimbabwe?
No.
And now, who is to blame for that?
The whole nation is to blame.
Right. So, what should be done? To try and save people's lives. People are dying of typhoid, to be frankly honest. And you know the state of the hospitals there.
Yeah, but my understanding is that typhoid is a waterborne disease.
Yeah.
And you only get it if you drink dirty water.
Mm.
So, where does the dirt come from? From us, the people.
Mm.
Why do we litter? Because we believe that when we litter, there is somebody who is going to collect our litter. We don't do preventative health
measures
in terms of not littering. If you go to Harare, you don't have to go there. If you look at the pictures coming out of Harare right now, there is dirt all over the place. Now, when you create that environment, this is not a government-created environment. It's us, the people, who are littering it.
Mm.
We are littering our streets. We don't have toilets. We don't use toilets. We are peeing everywhere. We make these things fully aware that they can cause disease. Now, the job of the government is to collect taxes so that they can mitigate against this littering, either through community awareness programs or through collecting the litter. Now, in terms of collecting the litter, this is assigned to local authorities. And the local authorities really, really want to collect the litter. But they are incapacitated in terms of their budgets because the central government does not give them the funding to do the collection. And when we get charged for collection of litter, we don't pay. So who is responsible for this? It's the whole nation.
Right.
We just don't have our priorities right. We don't know what we are doing. We blame each other. We blame each other over an issue that we are causing ourselves. And then when we suffer, because the disease is quite painful, I gather it's quite painful, we then blame government or the MP or the councillor or the neighbor.
Okay.
And yet, when we do that, we forget that we are responsible for also keeping our environments clean. The buck stops with us. All of us must contribute. And I'm very relieved that Zimnet Radio has taken the lead by just asking this question: who is responsible for typhoid? We are responsible for typhoid.
You are. Thank you so much, Sekuru, for that detailed answer there. And the Chief Sose, do you agree na Sekuru, or you would like to blame someone other than us?
I mean, the buck stops at the local government. You know, no, not really with the people. Yes, to a certain extent, but it stops at the councillors, it stops at the mayor, but ultimately is the minister of local government, because he is the one who is holding the purse. I think a year ago we started what we called Stop Blaming, Start Acting campaign, where we were doing cleanup campaigns, cleanup operations in Glenview, Glenora, Highfield, and I think last one we did was in Chitungwiza. The problem that we saw there, yes, people may be blamed, but I'm telling you, the reports that we're reading, which I still have even up to today, there will be litter at the end of streets. You know, litter is not being collected by local authorities. So what do people do? They end up taking their litter, they end up taking their bins or whatever, and then they go and empty them at the end of the street or at the empty space or free space across their houses. And that builds up. It builds up. Even if you see the pictures, it's so now setting is this way people are living. But the problem there is coming from the local authorities failing to collect litter. And then people just end up throwing things anyway, everywhere. Because it's not being collected anyway, you know. So we need the Minister of Local Government to really do what he's supposed to be doing. That's local government. If we have our minister, it was Kaskwere then, I think so, yeah. He was always fighting with local authorities. Instead of him availing a budget that makes it possible for them to collect litter, it was never given. That budget was never given. So at the end of the day, we blame the government.
Okay.
They have to do something about that.
All right, thank you so much. Sally, who is to blame for this outbreak of typhoid in this day and age in 2017?
I agree with Sekuru. I agree that it's the whole nation is to blame. There's one more thing I want to add to what Sekuru said about it being a waterborne disease. You know, the people that sell the vegetables and the fruit and stuff like that, okay, even from the supermarket. I grew up, my mother and father taught me, it doesn't matter where you buy it, the fruit, okay, or the veggies. If you're going to eat it raw, okay, which, you know, without cooking it, you must wash it, because you don't know how the supermarket or the vendor has washed whatever it is. Typhoid is also, you can pick it up from unclean raw vegetables and fruit. Okay, so that's another thing. Please.
Yeah, thanks.
Please, no matter, even if you buy it from Tesco, if you're going to eat it raw, please wash it first. Make sure that your kids do that. It's very, very important. You know, I live in South Africa, okay? I have seen things that make your head do a double take. I mean, I was sitting here one night, I was talking on the radio, and a young man walked past, and I saw him stop, and I thought, what's he doing? I put my glasses on, and he was standing having a wee facing me. And that's in a residential area. When just a little bit down the road where he passed, there is an open space, and he could have gone and wee-weed against the tree.
So you had an eyeful then? You had an eyeful, didn't you?
Do you know that by the time I'd finished with him, he was running down the road. I don't even know if he had time to do his zip up, okay? But it's just, we have to be careful of what we do and where we do it. And we have to educate people to that fact. okay? Because it's those hostels or flats, okay, they are so overcrowded. So your toilets are going to be a mess. When the toilets are a mess, the people are going to go outside, okay, because they don't want to have to face the mess in the toilet. Now, if each one of us made sure that when we left the toilet was clean, okay? You don't have to be rich to have a clean toilet. You can be absolutely dirt poor and still be clean, okay? And this is what then ends up spreading diseases, cholera, typhoid, all these horrible things, okay? People have to be, I don't know, I'm going to get shouted at about it, but they have to be educated in hygiene, okay? And it has to be a good, how can you say, at the block of flats with hygiene teams, okay, educating groups of 10 people or whatever it is. Yes, it takes time and it takes money, but anything that is going to help, okay, and going to increase the lifespan and the health and everything of people does take time, and it takes energy, okay? A place can be overcrowded, but it can still be clean. Each one of us, you know this business of we eat a sweet, okay, and then we just throw the paper down. No, stop that. You know, if I haven't got a packet with me and I'm walking on the street and I have a sweet, okay, I put, excuse my language, Sekuru, I put my sweet paper in my bra so that when I get home, I can put it in the bin, okay? And that is how we have to be. And we have to educate our children to that, everybody around us. Because we're too many, and everybody throws, if 50 people throw down a sweet wrapper every single day, okay, for 30 days, do you know what the place is going to look like?
Yeah, it's going to look dirty. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Sally, thank you so much for that. Vamoyo, who do you think is to blame for this outbreak of the typhoid?
Firstly, I agree with the other speakers who have been before me. It is supposed to be everybody's responsibility to make sure we have a clean and tidy environment. But having said that, remember kuti tine vanhu vakawanda and vane backgrounds akasiyana-siyana and vane social standings akasiyana-siyana. And in this case, remember, the actual strength of any chain is determined by its weakest link. So the start of a disease, you're not going to tanga even from a street kid, you're not going to tanga from somebody who is living in a slum. But once it has started, then it spreads and it spares nobody thereafter. It means the level of responsibility goes a little higher up than the ordinary man on the street, and there it now rests with the city council, local authorities. That is the sole reason why those people are elected. They are put in those places to do that, and they are supposed to do their job. And then it goes a little higher up again to the minister of local government himself, whose responsibility is to oversee the local authorities. So it involves everybody up to the minister himself, because he's supposed to oversee these local authorities and make sure that they are doing what they are supposed to do, and the local authorities are supposed to do what they are supposed to do. When Chief Sodza was talking of garbage piling up, of course, vananopiwa mabhini and voisa rubbish yavo imomo, but the bin riya rikazara and harina kucollectwa. Homes always continue to generate rubbish naturally. So kana bin razara rubbish yavo vanesa kupi? Is it the only chengeta mumba? kana kuti ndo pavakuzonokandira at the end of the street. So if the city council does not collect rubbish, it leaves my residents with no alternative instead of taking matters in their own hands. This is where the problem now goes out of hand. And in this case, the responsibilities with the generality of our people. We are supposed to act responsibly and make sure that our environment are clean. But most of the responsibility lies with the local authority. That is their job.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Mukoma Wilbert, what's your take on this one? Who should we place the blame on?
I think in this particular case, we've got to remember that Zimbabwe is in a serious economic situation. I have been to areas like Chitungwiza, and I have seen sewage flowing in the streets. And when there is an outbreak like that, the diseases will spread very quickly. There is nothing the individual can do if those who are responsible for maintaining the sewage system in good operating order are not doing their bit. I know in many, even big cities like Harare, many suburbs, they have not got running water. Now, a disease like that, if you are going to share water to wash your hands, that is where you spread it. You know, because you have got so little water, you use that same water again and again and again, so that even when you go to the toilet, you can afford only the bare minimum of water to wash your hands, because there is a limited amount of water available. And that's where you spread the disease. So this problem, we've seen it coming. And to say everybody is responsible, I think we're missing the point completely. If we're going to say everybody is responsible, yes, an individual may be responsible for 0.01% of that. But the real big problem here is, I believe, with central government itself. The economy is in such a mess. To say council should be responsible for collecting the bins, even if they send you the bill as an individual, if you're not working and they've not been working, and some of these people have not been working for decades, how do you expect them to pay it? And if the council is not collecting any rent and rates, how do they pay for the maintenance of the vehicles that are going to collect the stuff? So the economy is the central issue here. If we do not get the economy going and working again, this is the sort of problem we'll face. We've been sitting on this time bomb, and now we are facing it. And unless we really do something to correct it, this is the sort of thing that we will have happening over and over again. And some of it is also to do with the failure of our health services to react quickly and treat and contain the spread of the disease, because they are also stretched. Clinics are not properly equipped. They do not have qualified staff. So that is also another source of the problem. So I think in this particular case, if we're going to say who is to blame, it has to be government. Because if the economy was working properly, we would have running water, councils would be collecting some of the dirt, and even if there is an outbreak, it will be quickly contained. But as long as there is so much poverty, there is so many destitute people, we've got to rely on whatever they can sell on the street. This kind of thing is a time bomb that we are going to have to face again and again until we sort out our economy.
Okay. Thank you so much. Tetenoma Zulu, what's your take on this one?
Well, it's a very interesting topic for me, particularly because I've written articles about it. You know, you can't blanket say that everybody is to blame. It's not possible, you know. We have got 95% unemployment in Zimbabwe. So how do you expect people to pay raise? That is one thing. And then the other thing is this. Makokoba or in Bari or anywhere else, but except in those affluent areas, our boreholes they are not, they are leakages, It has been statistically established that our boreholes, they do contain a certain amount of feces that leaked through the boreholes. So you would think, Kuti, I'm using borehole water and it's clean. As a matter of fact, it's not. It's leaked in, And then the other thing is this. There was also statistics that went through Harare and Bulawayo. I don't know whether it went to Gweru or other towns, but Harare and Bulawayo, there were statistics that showed that when people were sampled, 50% of the people who were sampled, they had feces in their hands. That alone shows that when people went to the toilet, there was no washing of hands because there is no water and because there are no toilets. If you go to Copacabana, you can also go to Makoko. If you go to Copacabana, there are all those taxis, Hakuna toilet, there is no toilet. So when they go and relieve themselves, they relieve themselves in the open, and there is no washing of hands. And then this is a continuation, of, a lot of germs. Let me be rude. Say there, it's a collection of a lot. You get into the taxi, wind up toilet, wobata taxi, and another one, wobata toilet. It's an accumulation. I'm not surprised with typhoid, because if this goes for a long time, I was in Copacabana myself. Ukaenda kuma back doors and alleys, unowana china check. And last year, kwakanaya mvura yakawanda. So what happens is, when there is plenty of rainfall, it collects everything, kuma rivers. And those rivers, they collect that water to wells. And then those wells are used by people. And the animals themselves, we call them, be it cows or goats or sheep, you know that the Chinonwa Mvura in those rivers where human collection, human excrement has been collected. So those cows, Rwara, they call it measles, or tuberculosis because of that human excrement. And then water, and nyama, but the nyama is contaminated because of that water. And not only that, it's so many issues put together. Just go to Makokova today, Kunema toilet mashoma, So people go and relieve themselves in the bush. Hakuna mvura yekugeza maoko, and then they get into the transport, you interact. Munoenda mningi mumakombis, you go and you touch, Wherever you touch, somebody else comes and touches. I am not surprised at all. Zimbabwe is a health time bomb. It's a health time bomb. Be it in urban areas as well as rural areas. It's just the same. 50% of the people have anama toilets. 50%. That should be a scare. A bomb scare. Last year there was typhoid. And then Pararinyatwa, the health minister, was consulted by WHO how he is going to curb typhoid and cholera together. And then, my vendors, they went all out to say, because they he targeted my vendors. Murugenda kunotengesa zvinhu zvenyu in non-designated areas where there is no running water and where there is no toilet. And then my activists, they said now, they were acting against who? Parevinyato, This is when I wrote an article saying, in this particular case, ndakusaida nani na Parevinyato Zanu as he is. Because he was getting directives from where? From Geneva. Uti look, those vendors who are selling their things in non-designated areas where there is no toilet, where there is no running water, is a fertile ground for typhoid and cholera. And then it's also my activists doing a politics station, But now, if you can anywhere where they can sell their things, how are we going to survive? This is a case. This is a case that you put people before politics. This Rana, this girl, Najorwata. They are politicians. Variety people should sell wherever they can sell. But then in this particular aspect, Parevinyato was right because he was getting directives right from Geneva. Those places that are non-designated, not to be used to sell fruits and vegetables, they should be banned altogether.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Tete Nomazulu, for that. Rekaini tidzoke kuna Sekuru. 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 Right. Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Muzukuru wangu.
Muchipo ere?
Uri kudaidzwa nechidhoma changu.
Tiri kunzwa ndapedza 5 minutes kandi kudeedzera kwakanyararwa saka ndanda kutya kuti what's going on.
Ndaenda kuchimbuzi.
All right. Ende munotaura chokwadi Sekuru. Sekuru. Makaiona ere imwe news yandakaona mai nababa Charamba vanotiridzira mimhanzi inodakara chose, sitting there with the ZRP police saying that they are now the ambassadors to ZRP. Did you come across that story?
Handina sazvindishamisi nokuti zvinhu zvekuzimbabwe kunongoitwa zvimwe zvinhu zvomutoshaya kuti vanhu vari kumbofundira. Vanoti musician ave ambassador, Japresa akanzi ave ambassador wemasoja. Saka mai Charamba namai nababa Charamba vachiitawo amapurisa. Ndozvo zvinongoita, hapena kuti zvinongofamba sei. Munomu handizivi kuno kwandogara kuno kuti ndakambonzwa kuti kuna musician ambassador wemasoja kuno.
Saka, you think this is a farce?
Zvinhu zvokuti vanhu vepolitics vana Charamba akatombokondesta were vanenge vachida kutsvaga mbiri yokuti vagodikwa nevanhu vachinzi ndo vanomirira mapurisa.
That means havachamiswi pamaroadblock. Thank God for them.
Izvo ndezvimwe nyangwe iko zvino haamiswi Charamba unongofunga nokuti akagara ariwo kuzana.
Okay.
Vanonetswa ndevamwe vanhu.
All right. Thank you so much, Sekuru. Chief Sodza, did you come across that story?
andina kuiona DJ asi it's just one of those things, the many things that ZANU-PF does to quote, certain people in our society that are going to help them advance their their popularity in a way, just like what they did with Japreza. They're trying to capture the youth, and I think with the Baba Namai Charamba, they're trying to capture the mature and the Christians in Zimbabwe. We have about 2 million people who are Christians, downright Christians who are going to church. So that's a good number for them. So how best can they do that? They talk to celebrities, who definitely reach out to those people one way or another. But it has implications. I mean, now just look what happened to Japreza. Akazorohwa weekend apa, and I don't even feel sorry for him. So Aramai Charamba and Baba Charamba, they should know exactly what they're getting themselves into. Eventually, those things, whatever they're doing, is going to catch up with them. Their misdeeds and the misdeeds of ZANU-PF, eventually they will catch up with them. It's a non-event. I mean, it's not even anything to celebrate. I don't even know if you Aramai Charamba, Baba Charamba, of course, they will celebrate because my Charamba is said to be a war veteran. Even everything that the way they started their music business, their music career, it was kick-started by ZANU-PF. But ZANU-PF who have you, put you somewhere high up there. When they have used you, they throw you away. That's what ZANU-PF does.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I'm getting worried now that you guys don't know about this story, but it was all over the place, and there was even it was on ZBC actually news the other night. To sign in my paper. I don't know if Mkoma Wilbert, did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. Sorry.
You didn't. Anyone saw it on the panel?
I only saw it after hearing from you, then I said it and I saw it.
You saw it? Okay. Sally, you didn't see it?
No, I didn't. I've seen it. I've seen it now.
Now that we are talking about it, you've seen it. I saw it on ZBC News. I was listening to the news and they were signing, and I was wondering, an ambassador to the ZRP, what on earth are they going to be doing? I was just worried.
They must have been speaking to our Minister of Police here in South Africa, Fikile Mbulula, because he comes up with these crazy things as well.
Right.
I mean, he came up with, now the police in South Africa have to be protected, so they're going to hire security guards to protect the police. So I mean, being a ambassador for the police, who knows?
Okay,
I mean, I've never heard of it before, but I mean.
I've never heard of it as well. What is it all about?
Yeah, Nenge, it's like any organization which is trying to promote its image. Like what some other people have alluded to, when the army was using Japreza to promote their image. Here I will quote this dumb guy, but once in a while, sometimes he talks sense, Nelson Mandela. He was responding to one of the questions when he was asked about his relationship with Cuba, Libya, and the PLO. And his response to them was, you guys, the problem that you are making is to try and assume that your enemies are my enemies as well, or your enemies should be my enemies. That's a mistake that you are making. Your enemies are your enemies. My enemies are my enemies. And then we create friends and enemies depending on our personal circumstances. That was his response. that Maicharamba could associate with ZRP or Japreza could associate with the army. If you have problems with the ZRP and the army, it is your problem with them. It should not be everyone else's problem. If they see nothing wrong with it themselves, then they should go ahead and do it as they see fit. Here we are looking at adults who can make a choice, an informed choice on their own to know that they're
okay. So, all right. Vamoyo, I can see where you're going, that there is no wrong in them being chosen there. But what their job? Is it just to promote the institution?
Yes, it's just to give a positive image of any institution. And even
I think there's a lot of positives we can talk about ZRP at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, and even if they are not positive, there is need to turn the ZRP to start having those positives. In fact, that there is law and order today, we owe it to the ZRP and the ZMA. That there is law and order in Zimbabwe. That's why people are running back and forth to the courts and having their cases presented there. You cannot use the courts unless there is law and order in a country.
Okay.
And it is.
That's
I will give an example of.
No, we don't need an example. We really don't.
Of the DRC. Remember,
the DRC's got nothing to do with us.
I know, Sally. I know, but just reduce your mouth. Ninge,
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
What I was saying.
I beg your pardon.
Don't.
Hey, you rude.
Don't beg my pardon. Sorry. What I'm saying is, at the end of the DRC war, we still remember. I think that was 2002. The DRC opened up to Zimbabweans to come and do their business because of the involvement of the ZNA in that country in restoring peace and order. But a lot of people who went there at that time, they lost their belongings, they lost their wares, because they went into deals with a lot of companies who got their items and then promised to pay. They went into contracts. But then they realized that they could not enforce those contracts because there was no law. There was no court to deal with that, and there was no law. So, if you can go to a court of law and have a judgment made and be able to enforce that court decision, then that is what is referred to as law and order. If you are aggrieved in any way and you have recourse to the justice system,
Can I hold you, please? You said Sally should reduce her mouth. Yeah? Now you are talking about law and order. Is that not rude to say to somebody she should reduce her mouth?
Sorry?
How would you say that to somebody should reduce her mouth?
What does that mean? Do you know the meaning?
No, you are the one who said so.
Oh, okay.
So reduce your mouth, meaning kunafad.
Yeah. She was becoming too loud.
No, the thing is, you don't say that. It's rude.
Oh, right. Okay,
Insolent.
point taken. Okay, but does that change any value to contribution?
No. The thing is, if we should contribute to this platform, I think we need to be, respectful to one another.
Yeah. In fact, what I consider is respectful or not respectful is when you talk over somebody else.
No, when you say you must reduce your mouth, that is rude.
Yeah, I also consider it very rude.
And
what I also
said, continuously said, I beg your pardon, what are you saying? But you continue, you know, this is very masculine. You know, you've got this masculine approach. And you should listen.
Yes,
and you should
because,
listen.
Yeah, because I also do the same. When you are talking, I listen. When she is talking, I listen. So a conversation is when somebody is talking and somebody is listening, and then the other one is talking and the other one is listening. And then if you talk and I'm talking and that one is talking and that becomes noisy. We are no longer talking. So
well,
if
are you
do,
sure when you say reduce somebody's mouth is not rude?
To me it is not. No, to me it is not.
Yeah, because you are typical ZANU-PF, you know, you never take responsibility and even apologize. You know, you are just wasting our time here and wasting Zimbabwe's time, you know, arguing about this. You know, you should just take responsibility and say, I'm sorry, because definitely there's a better way that you could have used than the way that you used.
In fact, I get offense if I am talking and then somebody also talks over my voice, because I don't do that.
Yeah, you have also done that before on other people, but they have never used words like that.
When
you
cite one incident when I told
we're not going to go into that. In fact, let's move on.
Yes.
You've been speaking for the past 5 minutes.
All right.
We should just move on.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
In the first place.
Okay. I'm sorry.
There is law and
order. No, Mr. Moyo, you can't keep talking.
Hold on a second. Right. Tete Mazulu.
Yes, hello.
Yeah. Tanzwa mutungamiriri wenyika nhasi vari kuti he wants the death sentence to be reintroduced in Zimbabwe. Would you like death sentence being reinstated?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. For the first time in my life, you know, to agree namhlanje, yeah, achitie arikuda death sentence, yeah. That was yesterday. I think he said that yesterday, Farouk, you know, of this unknown person, you know. For the first time in my life, I said yes. You want death sentence?
Right. Okay. Sekuru. I think he's going to the toilet again.
Okay, let me take his part. You know why I want death sentence? You know, there are so many things happening, you know. There are young children, girls, babies who are abused, sexually abused. Yeah? How does an adult male abuse a baby of 11 months, a baby of 1 year, a baby of 5 years? How does a woman ane mwana wake opa murume mwana wake ane 5 years kuti ati quench sexuality yake? Yeah? This has happened. Ufuningi kumatepelele no kwandinobva inini. Yeah? We have read. I haven't seen it but I have read this and it is true. You know? If death sentence should just go to those people, you know, who abuse babies and young girls as young as 5 years, then death sentence should be implemented. You know? I agree with Namgabe full percent.
Okay. All right. Chief Sodza, would you like death sentence?
I mean, we're just taking ourselves back to 100 years ago. You know, at a time when most countries are moving away from death sentence, you know, to actually moving away from it and repealing it, as we are saying, we want it back. I mean, there is no way, there's no research that has been done that has proven that if there's death sentence in a country, serious crimes will reduce. I mean, there are still other, penalty measures that can be taken, sentences that can be given, 100 years, 50 years, or life in jail. You can still do that. So he is going to face a lot of opposition to that. And
hello dear, can I interrupt? Your language in speech, Yenyuka, is very German or very British or very American. We are talking about Zimbabwe. My facilities are where we are going to put these people for the rest of their lives. Akuna, yeah? And then if there are no facilities, they will come back to the Kuma society and continue. Yeah?
Yeah, what I was saying is okay. There is no research that has shown that introducing or reintroducing death penalty is going to lead to a reduction of serious crime. Because okay.
Okay, right. Mukoma Wilbert.
Yes, sir.
Would you like death penalty coming back?
I think this is again a typical Mugabe solution. The main problem we have in Zimbabwe, like I said, is gross mismanagement, where society itself, the fabric of society, is completely broken down. When there is so much poverty, you expect the level of criminality to go up, and in this particular case, some of the criminal activities that we had not heard of or seen being so common, say 20 years ago, are now becoming very commonplace. And unfortunately, in this particular instance, I think killing people may be Mugabe's solution. And I see what Noma is saying there, that there are no facilities. So he is now solving his problem of the prisons are overcrowded and he can't even feed the few who are there now. So he thinks the solution should be just killing people. The honest truth of the matter is that we really need to sort our economy and reduce the level of our criminal activity, and make and which has put so many people, made so many people economically destitute. And when they are so much destitute, you always find the level of criminal activity goes up, including prostitution, petty thefts, and then other crimes go up as well. And in fact, to be fair, we're seeing these problems also drifting into other countries, where we've got a lot of Zimbabweans who have been convicted of fairly serious crimes in other neighboring countries like South Africa and Botswana. We are now exporting our problem to other countries. And I don't think the death penalty, when the economy is itself the one that is in a mess, is the solution. If we're going to have the death penalty, then we should start by saying it should be any of the politicians convicted of corruption, for instance, they must be killed. Then that I would agree with the death penalty come in. That is the solution.
All right. Okay. Wamoyo, would you like the death penalty coming back?
In fact, I don't really understand the term coming back. We had always had the death penalty. We had had it all along. I think it could have been eliminated. It was not completely eliminated, actually. It was sort of reduced in certain circumstances. To say if it involves a woman, if it involves that, I need to go back to that particular clause in our constitution to have a look at what it says. But there was still provision for executions. But I take you a little bit back, maybe a few months back, to Bulawayo, where there was this guy he had a childhood friend. They were friends, best friends from childhood until about 2 months ago. And he invited his friend for a walk. And when they were out there in the bush having a walk, as they always did, he pulled a gun, told his friend that he was going to kill him, actually killed him, cut off certain parts of his body, and sold them to a ritualist. This person, surely to assume that he must be spared the gallows, surely there's something wrong with us. To assume that this person does not deserve to be killed, there's something wrong with us. We do have people. Well, there are 3 cases so far of money changers. Somebody who's just doing the money change, and somebody comes up with a gun, shoots that person, takes the money that he has, and goes away. If this person is arrested, we are saying he must be spared the death penalty. Are we serious? Really? If somebody kills for the sake of killing, that person must go. He does not deserve. He must never. In fact, when we say he must go to jail, we are saying there is a person who has killed somebody, probably a breadwinner to a family. And the family is now struggling to survive. And when they survive, they go to the shops, they buy, they pay sales tax. From the sales tax, we are saying the money is now supposed to go to jail to support this same person. What are we talking about? Where is our morality there? Where is the common sense? I mean, there has always been culpable homicide cases where somebody kills somebody, and then he's still found not death being the ultimate penalty because of the circumstances. But where somebody goes out with the motive of killing for the sake of killing, that person must be killed as well. That person must go.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Sekuru, are you still there? Right. Zvisinei muri Zimbabwe, time yedu panapa yadyana. It's midnight here in the United Kingdom. My thanks to everyone who participated on the show. Please, we'll meet again next week, same time, when we do it once again.
Yeah, good night.
Yes, have a good night, everybody. Vanga vakateerera vari kudzimba, thank you so much for listening.
This is a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
Make the whole world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing@zimnetradio.com.